Welcome back, guys. Today I am going to bring you a really fun, really good game that we had the other day. It is both a leader screw and a comeback. On Team Beta Male, you're going to have Topher playing as Anders, Kibbles playing as the Brute, and Newton playing as the Prophet. On Team Big Dick Energy, you're going to have Roop playing as the Prophet, Filthy playing as Forge, and myself playing as Anders. I'm only gonna upload games worthy of uploading, and I think this game is not gonna disappoint. Now, I wish I would have been the one streaming this day because Rupe's quality stream is not that good anymore. I'm not sure what the situation in Finland is, but it looks like somehow he got AT&T or some shit. Now, I used to have AT&T, and unfortunately, where I live, that's the only internet provider that we had. But I moved since, and now I have Charter, so um, yeah, bro, don't get AT&T, bro. AT&T shit, that shit ain't gonna cut it. Anyway, as you're gonna see, Rupe pushed up his ghost right away. I think Rupe should have tried to get away with Temple fourth here. I don't know if he had the time to scout or not. But it looks like this map, it was bad supply, and we had the bad side, so I'm glad he pushed his ghost, because like, if he didn't, I would have got no money. I was already broke as it is. Now, the good thing is that Filthy is forged, and when you're forged, you get those heavy patch right off the rip. It's like, in my opinion, like, it's almost like the Forge shouldn't even take a crate at that point, and let the Anders have all those crates, honestly. So, Rupert looks like he's gonna go walk to the turret. I mean, I guess that's pretty good. And he's gonna upgrade a pad and start queuing up elites right away. But the other team is just gonna come up, and I wanted to push and catch Topher clearing a base, but I realized that probably not. Probably just have to come back. As you can see, I'm right there in the middle, getting ready to push. I was looking for points, but I didn't see points, so I figured he didn't go reactor that early. So I'm just gonna come back, and we're gonna drop a D bomb and gonna get this brute off. Ahmed Steak and Nia Asa, they had challenged Suntory and Lake Almost, and it looks like they're not gonna play, unfortunately. I tried to get them to play, and they were little bitches about it, so they're not gonna do it. So I just decided to derank their ass and disband their team, because they did make a team. I mean, like, if you're not gonna play a threes challenge, why make a team? And then another one is the Smooth Tube versus Marco style. Now, I took a point away from Smooth Tubing once because he took 15 days to respond, but the challenge may still happen. Tuz finally did get on and he answered, but now Marco style is not answering, so there is that. But as far as I know, we still get that challenge. It's just a matter of time for us to be able to get them together and play their challenge. Like, both of them seem to want to play, they just seem to not get on that much. Now, the other challenge that was supposed to be played, and I extended the deadline of this one for a week because Slamtown made a team with Booty Ninja and Ahead, and they challenged Tiny Shoe, TS One Eye, and Milk, but TS One Eye and Milk were not there, and then Booty Ninja and Ahead are not answering. So basically, the only ones that are answering is Tiny Shoe and Slamtown. So what I'm gonna do is, if they don't play the challenge by the weekend, everyone on the both teams is gonna get a -1. Both teams are gonna be disbanded, except for Slamtom and Tiny Shoe. They will get to keep their current rating. There will be no punishment for them because they actually have been there trying to play. Anyway, let's digress here a little bit. As you can see, we went to the middle. We were trying to push on Topher, but they were able to defend and keep that push. And then we went to the middle to try and grab this money, and then their Prophet showed up, and we made the Prophet recall. Um, like, Topher did a pretty good job there. He kept his Expo, which is what we was trying to deny in the first place. So right here, that kind of went good for them. So we kind of like gave them the lead right now. Rupe is going to try to make it to the middle. The only good thing about the Brute going to the middle and all this that he's been doing is that, like, I got plenty of time on my base to get my reactor sup. So by the time the brute gets to my base, I am almost gonna have Gauss, but he's still gonna tear my base apart. He's gonna go 4 pads, double haul, and they're gonna try and kill Rupe right here. But I think it's pretty good, you know, like he's beaming left and right. So now he's gonna need a heal for his Warhogs before he can push. Now Filthy traded his Warhogs for some of Topher's, and I fought in the middle with him, so I was able to save most of mine. And Filthy's already gonna go straight into tanks because he knows that Kibbles is on a haul. Another 2 challenges that I hope we get to see is Steak challenge Phantom to a 1v1 and Orca challenge Turnip to a 1v1. Now Turnip was one of the people I added to the tier list, and I made him a 42 in ones because I've seen some of his streams. And Orca is rated at 41, so Orca decided he's going to challenge Turnip. So and Turnip said he will play it as soon as he comes back from vacation. He said in about a week he will message me the leaders and all the maps and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now with me adding people to the tier list, I did have to make a YouTube video and put the tier list on the description of that video because my description on my about section, it did not longer have enough room to add any more letters. Now YouTube description video, you have like 9,000 or 5,000 letters, whereas on the about section you only have 1,000 letters. Now the about section is still gonna show the top 60, and I will try my best to update it. The tier list on the club, I may just go ahead and delete that because honestly it's such a fucking pain in the ass to update it on there. Unless somebody wants to volunteer to do it. Anyway, as you can see, they're pushing with a haul. They have a brute and a prophet down back here, and they're gonna start stripping me now. I am gonna finish reserves, and I am gonna queue the upgraded cryo. So I'm gonna be waiting for my D-bomb, or I have my D-bomb. I just don't have the money. I'm gonna be waiting for the money to D-bomb and finally push this off. Meanwhile, on the other side, Topher is gonna start pushing and start going through Rupe's shield. Apparently Slime Time and NK5 Phantom had a 1v1. They played 2 games and they went 1-on-1, and then they switched it to 14 and Slime Time won. I asked Slime Time to go ahead and challenge Phantom to a 1v1, but he didn't want to. He said he didn't actually think he could actually beat him in a challenge, so he did not want to. As you can see here, Rupe is going to leave all his vamps over the grunts that are left, and Filthy's going to leave 1 tank, and we're going to go ahead and start heading towards Rupe's base. Now, Tover thought he was slick. He thought he was going to get to come up here and cryo all my shit and then end the game. Now, I am going to be using what you call the finish advantage. While his Warhawks are shooting the base and the summit and the pads and stuff, I'm going to be going in and taking shots. So he basically came over here thinking he was gonna end the game and this other bullshit, but instead he is gonna cryo miss, and then I am gonna counter cryo, and he is gonna get his shit pushed in.
Gotcha, bitch.
Now, even though we did sort of take this fight, we do not have enough of a lead to go ahead and push up. Filthy, however, is going to go ahead and switch to Wolverines because he realized that Kibbles switched to Air. Now, this is a mistake from Kibbles. He already upgraded his Brute. Full Tech 1. He already has Hoss up. Like, he should have just went Hunters. Topher is going to have enough Warhawks to force the fight. And Newton is going to have enough Vamps to have the air lead. So, by Kibbles, by him switching into Air, it's only gonna like give us a chance this game. Like, don't get it wrong, like we were dead this game, but Kibbles switching to Air is actually gonna give us a chance this game. If you're ever in the opposite team situation where you have a UNSC going tanks and Gauss, you definitely want to go Hunters. As long as your UNSC has enough of a hog lead to force fights, Hunters is definitely the way to go. Hunters and Vamps. Now, if we were going double Gauss, then in that case, you'd probably want rates. You probably want to work your way into Tech 2 rates. The rates are going to soak up the Gauss damage, and then the Warhawks on your team are going to do damage to the Warhawks because raids and other armor units, they have like this buff against warhogs. So in a nutshell, if they're going double Gauss, you want raids, Bamps, and Gauss. If they're going tanks and Gauss, you want Gauss, Hunters, and Bamps. Now, if they have an Arbiter instead of a Prophet, do not go raids. Go Hall. If you go raids against a Tech 2 Arbiter, you're gonna be looking stupid. Anyway, I digress. As you can see, I'm just now able to take my Expo. We're gonna be licking our wounds. Filthy is gonna switch to Wolverines, which is also gonna give him a little bit of money to like heal and stuff. And I am actually gonna start scrolling through the little parts here because like it's gonna just be a lot of sitting around for a few minutes. So if we can all get full pop, our army is actually gonna be stronger than their army. And we basically just want to like turtle up until we can get to that point. As you can see, they're right here. They're getting ready to push, and I actually do not want to trade my Warhogs. I want to like sit behind the tanks and the Wolverines a little bit, because if I were to trade, let's say he has 30 Warhogs and I have 30, and we trade 30 for 30, like he's gonna get his full pop way faster than I can, and I really can't afford to lose my pop right now. I'd rather lose my Expo than lose my pop. So he's gonna come in and he's gonna land a pretty decent cryo, and it does look like it is upgraded. And I'm gonna counter cryo, and with all the Wolverines and everything and all my Warhogs, like this is gonna be a really close fight, but we are gonna be able to take it. As you can see, I did lose my Expo, so all my Warhogs are very valuable right now. I can't afford to lose them, and I'm also kind of broke, so it's not easy for me to grab the Expo. But with all the Wolverines and all the tanks and all the volleys and shit, we are going to be able to hold on to dear life. Now, we basically want to wait until we get a really good decisive fight, you know? Like right here, if Rupert wouldn't have lost most of his air, we probably could have pushed, but since he did lose most of his air, their army is more mobile than ours, so we can't push, so we just have to like rebuy the base and keep trying to turtle. As you can see on the mini map, like Topher is on 3, probably 4 bases by now, and I'm only on 1, so I am gonna go ahead and come back and start licking my wounds, and we're gonna see that they're gonna push on the other side, but they're just gonna be poking in, taking a pad at a time. Now, Filthy is actually going to do a very good job this game. As you can see, they got 4 bases, and I think he's going to go ahead and scout the last base. So Topher is actually going to be on 5 base Gauss now.
God damn!
Now, this night, the reason I even started playing in the first place was because Fusion Lift was talking shit in the chat, and he went to 2v2. So after we got done smacking Filthy and Fusion in 2s, Kibbles and Newton wanted to play, so they joined and we were playing, and we're actually doing pretty good, you know, like we're just trading games and whatever. And then they started pulling the little bitch move, you know. They kicked Fusion because they wanted to get Topher in the lobby, and honestly, I didn't even want to play in the first place. Even before against Fusion, the only reason I was playing in the first place was because they were talking shit. You know, when somebody talks shit, you're supposed to, like, show up and back it up, you know? You can't just be a little bitch and not play. Like I said, this game, if we get full pop, we're going to win the fight. However, we may not necessarily win the base trade. Actually, we would not win a base trade. So basically, we're getting to the point where we want to get in a fight with them. Now, I was under the impression that he was going to try and kill my Expo again. However, that was a mistake. He just had 3 Warhogs there, and I am going to basically get caught out of position. I'm going to chase those 3 Warhogs, then they're going to push with everything to my main to try and kill it. So, yeah, right there I fucked up. See, there's the Banshees, then there's everything, and we're scrambling to come back. And they are going to be able to kill my reactor before I'm able to save enough money to cryo bomb. However, this is actually going to be a good fight for us because we're basically, like, every single one of our units counters theirs. So even though like I lost my main base and we're down to one base each, like we're gonna basically kill everything. And this battle is gonna be so decisive that we are just going to go ahead and counter push.
Gotcha, bitch.
Look at the mini-map. One base each. However, looks can be deceiving. So I am gonna go ahead and start pushing with my pop of Warhogs. I'm gonna leave a few on defense for these Banshees. Filthy is gonna push with most of his, and then he's gonna leave some Wolves on defense, and he is gonna be getting Tech 4 here soon. And they're just not gonna have enough to stop us. Look at this. Topher had taken the base on our side, but that thing was barely built, barely had one pet on it, so we're just gonna go ahead and kill it. Now, right here, if Topher would have just left with everything, they probably could have still won. However, he's gonna try to engage me in the middle. Like, he should be worried about pumping Warhogs right now. And he didn't have money to cryo, so that cryo probably cost him a lot of Warhogs. So, not only that, but that was not the best cryo. So, we're just gonna come in here and we're gonna tear their assholes apart again.
Emotional damage.
Now, they're gonna claim that this was a one-win dodge, but honestly, after this kind of game, does there really need to be a rematch? Do we really need to play after this kind of win? I don't think so. Now, the game was basically already over, but Filthy is just gonna split his units, and he's gonna have Tech 4 Wolverines by now, and like he just can't be fucked with. Like, Filthy can literally kill all three of their enemies' armies right now with half of his. So he's just gonna like bring half of his units on defense, and then we're gonna push with everything else. Anyway, this game is basically over. It's coming to a wrap. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.
Gotcha, bitch.